The first time in 10 years, Putin came to the US and he had a meeting with Trump in Alaska. The meeting was mostly made to talk about the war with Ukraine and Russia, but they also wanted to discuss some other things like a nuclear deal. Don't worry, it's not like bad nuclear deal, like I'll tell you about it in the video, but the most important thing in this meeting was trying to end the war in Ukraine. You know what, if you just want to know the outcome of this meeting without all the details, I'll just tell you right now, they did not make a deal yet. Trump said that they're still talking about it and that he will talk with Ukraine's President Zelensky and he will talk to NATO and tell them what they discussed in the meeting.
So there's no deal until there's a deal. I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate, and I'll of course call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting.
If you want to know the details of what actually happened in this meeting and the stuff that happened beforehand, well, this video is for you. And as usual, we'll try to make it as simple as possible. So before that meeting happened, there were some rumors that Trump would agree on a deal with Putin that would have Ukraine giving up land in the deal. But Ukraine's President Zelensky said that this is not something that we will agree on, and he was upset that he wasn't even invited to the meeting. And to be honest, he's got a point. Like, the meeting will be talking about the war between Ukraine and Russia, but Ukraine's president wasn't even invited. Anyways, Trump said that his goal wasn't to negotiate on Ukraine's behalf, but at least get Putin back to the table. And for the first time in 10 years, Putin finally came to the US. And honestly, like, to prepare that whole meeting, it was a little quick. Like, Trump said that they were meeting only a week ago on August 8th, and the meeting happened on August 15th. So yeah, they only had like 1 week to prepare that whole summit. But yeah, everyone was anticipating what would happen in this meeting, because before that meeting, Trump said that if Putin didn't agree to end the war in the meeting, there will be a lot of punishments on Russia.
Will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
there will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
Like, seriously, he kind of threatened Putin before the meeting even happened. Anyways, Putin finally arrived, but something surprising kind of happened. Putin wasn't late to the meeting. You might ask me, why is that surprising? Well, if you don't know, Putin has a little tradition of always being late to meetings. For example, he was 14 minutes late when he met with Queen Elizabeth II in 2003, and he was 50 minutes late when he met with Pope Francis in 2015. But the craziest one to me is that he was over 4 hours late when he met with Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel. 4 hours! I don't know what the reason is. Like, some people are saying that the more he waits, the more that he respects the person, and some other experts are saying that this is a power play. But anyways, he was not late when he met Trump. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You tell me in the comments. Like, I generally don't know if him arriving on time is actually a good thing. So after they met, they shook hands, reporters were taking pictures, but one reporter shouted to Putin, "President Putin, when will you stop killing civilians in Ukraine?"
Mr. Putin, did you underestimate Ukraine? President Putin, will you stop killing civilians?
That was kind of shocking to Putin. Like, maybe the media in Russia doesn't have the courage to ask him such questions, because he didn't seem to be used to that question. Like, he seemed kind of surprised, but he didn't even know what to say. Like, his face was kind of interesting. But you know what? It's a little interesting. So the reporters did say that to Putin, okay, understandably. But why did they not say the same thing to Netanyahu when he visited? Like, yeah, why didn't they ask him? Anyways, after all of that, instead of Trump and Putin going in separate cars, Trump pointed to the beast, which is his armored presidential limousine. And he told Putin, "You want to come with me?" And surprisingly, Putin agreed. Like, I don't know if that's normal that they ride in one car, but yeah, they were alone for a few minutes. And I really hope Putin knows some English, because if he doesn't, that would have been a really awkward car ride.
But the day wasn't done with surprises. In a break of protocol rarely seen, security-minded Putin joined Trump inside the U.S. presidential limousine, the Beast. Both leaders seated together, heading to their next stop. Putin smiling. A new protocol? Perhaps.
But yeah, they took the car, they went to the meeting place, and thing is, Trump wanted that meeting at first to be a one-on-one, just Putin and Trump. But at the last minute, Trump changed his mind and he invited more people to the meeting. So on Trump's side were the Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, but on Putin's side there were the Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov and the senior aide Yuri Ushakov. The meeting was supposed to be a one-on-one, but yeah, the meeting now was a 3-on-3. And honestly, that made some European leaders kind of happy. Because yeah, they wanted Trump to have other people with him in the meeting. They were kind of worried that Trump and Putin would have a secret deal if they were alone. They were talking for a while. Like, that meeting took 3 hours. And I know, like, Trump wanted Putin to agree on the ceasefire and meet with Zelensky to negotiate like a peace deal. And Putin wanted to remove the sanctions that the US put on Russia. And he wanted to sign a new nuclear arms control deal. Yeah, I told you I'm going to talk about the nuclear deal in the video. So the US and Russia had a nuclear arms agreement already called New START, and that was signed back in like 2010 between Obama, who was the US president back then, and Dmitry Medvedev, who was the Russian president at the time. And basically that deal said that both countries would be limited to only making 1,550 nuclear warheads during the time of the deal. So yeah, the deal expires on February 5th, 2026. So yeah, between 2010 and 2026, they can only make 1,550 warheads each. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, did I just say only? That's actually a lot of warheads. Like, I don't think that we need that many warheads in the world, but yeah. They agreed that each of them would be making that number. Putin actually wanted a nuclear arms deal, like another one. He wanted to renew it, or he wanted to make another one, but yeah, he didn't want to have both countries do whatever they want and making as many nuclear warheads as they wanted. In my opinion, this is actually pretty good. Like, put a limit on that thing. Like, 1550 is a lot anyways, but yeah. Without the limits, who knows how many warheads those two countries can make. Back to the topic. So usually after those kind of meetings, there would be a press conference where Trump and Putin would come out and talk about the meeting basically. But Trump said that if that meeting didn't go well, there will be no press conference and that he would just walk away and fly home immediately.
We're going for a meeting with President Putin in Alaska. And I think it's going to work out very well. And if it doesn't, I'm going to head back home real fast.
I mean, if it doesn't, you walk.
I would walk there.
So yeah, as the meeting was happening, people were waiting if Trump and Putin would come out for the press conference or would it be canceled. And if it was canceled, that means that the meeting went horribly. Yeah, people were waiting at the press conference and Putin and Trump and all the other people were talking. But on the same day of the meeting, something else was happening in Ukraine. So on August 15th, which is the same day as the day of the negotiations, a Russian missile hit a market in Ukraine and that missile killed one person. And Zelensky even said that even on the day of negotiations, they were still killing.
Війна триває саме через те, що немає не тільки наказу, але й сигналів про підготовку Москви завершувати цю війну. В день перемовин вони теж вбивають, і це багато говорить.
It is horrible, and people were wondering if that meeting would finally get the deal that would end the war with Ukraine. But finally, both Trump and Putin came out to have the press conference, which means that the meeting went well, right? Actually don't know, because remember what I told you in the beginning of the video? Trump said that they didn't make a deal when it comes to Ukraine. So I don't know if they talked about it and they're waiting for Zelensky and NATO to accept. Anyways, they come out to have the press conference. Putin started talking first, and he was talking about how much he likes Trump and all that stuff, but he also said something kind of interesting. He said that the war between Russia and Ukraine would have never happened if Trump was the president back in 2022. But is that true? I don't know. We can't really go back in time, so maybe Putin was just saying that to make Trump happy? No idea, but yeah, that's what he said.
And in the end, I would like to add one more thing. I'd like to remind you that in 2022, during the last contact with the previous administration, I tried to convince my previous American colleague that it should not, the situation should not be brought to the point of no return when it would come to hostilities. And I said it quite directly back then that it's a big mistake. Today, when President Trump is saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that.
So yeah, that was basically the summary of what Putin said. And to summarize what Trump said, basically, they said that they didn't really make a deal about Ukraine. So Trump said that he will talk with Zelensky and NATO to discuss the topics that were mentioned in the meeting. But he stressed again that he is not there to negotiate for Ukraine, and Ukraine will have to decide its own fate. But he also said that tough choices might have to be taken, which kind of hints that Ukraine might have to give up land.
It's ultimately up to them. They're going to have to agree with what Marco and Steve and some of the great people from the Trump administration who've come here, Scott and John Radcliffe, thank you very much.
But after they finished talking, they didn't take a single question from any reporter. Maybe Putin didn't want to be in the same position he was earlier in the day, no idea. But yeah, neither of them took any questions. So yeah, after they finished talking, they shook hands and left. But now they're leaving us wondering what will happen next. What I think is that we should expect a meeting between Putin and Zelensky soon, but we should not expect the outcome because, yeah, no one knows how that will go, especially if Putin wants Ukrainian land. But I do want your opinion on this. Like, do you think that this meeting will be the reason the war ends? And if it actually ends because of this meeting, will Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize? Because I have a feeling he really wants that prize. Yeah, that was the meeting, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get many of the details that were discussed, but obviously those are like confidential stuff. I really hope that this meeting would be a start to the ending of this war.